It's the most wonderful time of the year. And not because it's Christmas, guys, because it's Wimbledon. And we're going to be going through my top 10 seeds at Wimbledon. We're going to give them a grade, the report card leading to Wimbledon. Hit the music. Oh, yeah, that's right. We can't hit the music, right? We're live. So anyway, guys, I'm excited to bring this broadcast to y'all. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over the top 10 seeds at Wimbledon. We're going to take a look at their form. We're going to be going through who are the players that have the big hope at Wimbledon and who's going to be a big nope. And what's really going to make this fun is if you guys interact, whether you're watching it live or whether you're going to watch it on the replay. I want to see your comments. We're going to be, again, going through what their strengths are, why they should do on the grass, and reasons that they might not have a great Wimbledon. I want your opinions on it, as long as, of course, you're respectful. We don't need any nasty stuff out there. And we're also going to be grading each player. So as we get through the end, I would love it if you guys would help me grade all the players, and we can see how it's going to go. This is fun, right? This 2017 to me has been such a great year already, with a resurgence of Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal, and then you got young guns like Thiem and Zverev really showing signs of life that they're ready to make a move. Hopefully they'll start doing it more in the majors. They're doing a lot in the smaller tournaments and have beaten some of the legends of the game this year. So very, very exciting stuff. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I will also be toggling back and forth between the comments and my presentation I have for you. So I will try and check out what you guys think as far as grades and how everybody's doing. I see that we have a number of people already joining us, so let's get right into it, okay? So I'm going to share my entire screen. This is always scary to do, but I think it is working, and we are here with our 2017 Wimbledon report card. Let's see if anybody has checked in yet with any kind of comments. Okay, hi, Nadal maybe could reach the final. That's from Marcos. Roger Federer has a very tough draw. That's right, Jalen. And Leo Paul says no sound, but I don't think that's on my end. I think that might be on your end. No picture or sound here. That's not good. That is not good. Why would that be? Anybody else experiencing that? No picture, no sound. Can you guys hear me? Really? That is not good. What about now? Anybody hear me now? Guys, can anybody hear me now? I have sound. Very good from Argentina. Okay, so some people have sound. Thank you. All right, cool. So I'm going with it. I'm going with it. Some of you can hear me, some of you cannot. That always makes me nervous. Going live always makes me nervous. So be nice to me. All right, let's get right into it. The 2017 report card. And first up, we have Alexander Zverev. Now, if you've listened to any of my past broadcast, you know I really, really love this kid. He's only 20 years old. He, most of the time, is not laying there down and out on the grass. In fact, he's shown that he's a pretty good grass court player, and I think he's one of those players that eventually will win Wimbledon. So let's go in through and talk about his signs of hope. So I'm going to be typing this out live for you guys right now. In fact, I don't know why that's doing that. So again, the fun of live stuff. So first of all, I think that his confidence, that's a big reason why he's going to do well. This kid started out the year just outside the top 20. Now he's the number 10 seed at Wimbledon. He has taken out some of the greatest players in the game. He's beat Roger Federer before. I believe he's beaten Novak Djokovic. He is really, really, really tough. He took out, almost took out Rafael Nadal at the Australian Open. So he can be a big game player, and he also has good, here we go, good match prep. Okay, that's reason number 2 why I think he's got signs of hope to go far and maybe even win it all at Wimbledon this year. He's got good match prep. He just got to the finals where he lost to Federer in Germany there at his home, his homeland there in Germany. He got to the finals So he's got good match prep. He also played well on the grass last year going into Wimbledon. He's got big serve, right? He's got that big serve. Big serves is so important in Wimbledon. Probably more than any surface in the world, you're going to get the most free points on your serve. It's a quicker surface. The ball can really shoot through the court, and so he can get a lot of free points. What he's not getting for free points off the serve, he can back it up with his flat groundies. So he's got flat ground strokes, right? He doesn't have big topspin ground strokes. He's got flat ground strokes that really penetrate the court. So this is another great thing at Wimbledon, especially as more and more players are not really necessarily serve and volley players, but they have the big serve and they have the big 1-2 punches. And the more you can hit flat through the court on that grass, that is a very big weapon to have. Finally, he's got the big body. All right. Big bodies in the past have done very well at Wimbledon. Tall, lanky. It's a good body frame to have at Wimbledon. We saw that Raonic almost won last year. We've had Michael Steek win in the past, right? We've had a lot of big bodies win at Wimbledon. Boris Becker comes to mind. Richard Krajicek. But here are the signs of nope, okay? So I'm going to go through the signs of nope. Here is the biggest thing for me, is he, from match to match, has been MIA, all right? Missing in action. This is my biggest sign of nope that I have for Alexander Zverev, in that I am a big fan of his. So I get excited when he's getting ready to play a big match. And there's been a couple of real big disappointments that have been red flags for me. Number one, he was going into a match and he was going to play Nick Kyrgios. And I thought, oh, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to get my popcorn ready. I'm really excited to see how this match is going to go. I don't know who's going to win, but I think Alexander might pull it off. And even if he doesn't, it's going to be a real nail biter, probably a classic. And instead, he just didn't show up. He got destroyed by Nick Kyrgios. And then again, he had a very good grass court showing, but he goes in that final against Federer. And of course, we know Federer is playing on another planet right now. We all get that. That's a given. To go out there and do well against Federer, that's a big ask right now. Federer, arguably the greatest player of all time, and his confidence is sky high. And, you know, he's amazing on grass. But to go out and lose 1-3, I think is not a good sign when you're looking at him going deep into the tournament and he runs up against a legend, a blockbuster name. This year, he just hasn't delivered when people get really excited for a big matchup. And so that's a big concern for me. So I'm worried about that. The other thing that I'm worried about that I think is huge is this kid, even though he's great on grass, which is kind of weird, he loves to move far off the baseline. Loves to move far off the baseline. So I think grass rewards, even Rafael Nadal, those years when he's won Wimbledon, they talk about how he's playing so much closer into the court than he plays at the French Open. And to drift far behind the baseline and hit your ground strokes there, especially if someone can take advantage of that and get to the net on you and then hit drop shots and angles, and you're 6'6" moving around the court, that's going to be hard to go 2 weeks and beat all the players you're going to come up against. So, and he's in the very tough half of the draw. Federer's in his half of the draw. So that's going to be tough. So I'm going to grade him now. And I want to see, I'm going to go back to the page and see if you guys can hear me. Okay, cool. So you guys can hear me. Now, here's the thing I want to know is, what's your grade? What is your grade for Zverev? I'm going to wait for your grade, and then I'm going to give my grade. So what is your grade for Alexander Zverev? What would you grade him, A to F, as far as his playing form and his chances to win, like his match prep, the tools he has, everything? What would you give as a grade right now for Zverev going in there? I'll wait just a little bit. If I don't hear anything, I'm going to just give my own grade because I don't want to hold up the broadcast too long. So don't leave me hanging, especially Maddie B. I see you're on. What's your grade, Maddie B? What are you going to do? Jalen, what's your grade for Zverev? Let me know. Okay, no one's going to help the coach here. You're going to leave me hanging. don't like to see that. So I'm going to go and I'm going to give my own grade. Maybe I'll come back and check you guys out and see what you guys think. But my final grade for him going into Wimbledon, he's had a great year. His confidence is super high. I think that he is one of the dark horses of the tournament. So I'm going to give him a B. Oh, not a B equal. Not a B equal. I'm going to give him a B plus. Okay, so my final grade for Alexander Zverev going into Wimbledon is a B plus. What say you out there? Do you agree with that grade? Would you give him that grade as well or not? Let me know what you would grade our buddy Alexander Zverev going into Wimbledon. All right, Jalen gives him a B minus. Ooh, I think that's a harsh grade. I think that's a harsh grade for somebody who just got to the front. B. Okay, George Ryan's giving him a B. All right, some tough grades coming out here. I'm going to move on to Nishikori. All right, so the thing about Nishikori, we got some pros for Nishikori as far as he's exciting to watch. He's a speedster out there. So we're going to go and we're going to start writing some. A lot of people love Nishikori. I do too. He just seems like a really cool guy. I always think of him as a kid, but he's becoming a veteran out there. So he's a speedster. So you gotta like his speed on grass, hitting, passing shots, things like that. His volley has improved a lot. In fact, I saw him at the Australian Open serve and volley. His serve, one thing that Michael Chang, his coach, also did. Michael Chang also was not the biggest guy out there, and he started to gamble a lot with his serve, and he worked his way all the way up to number 3 in the world, and I think he was even number 1 in the world for a couple of weeks there when he started to really amp up his serve. So his serve is getting bigger. He's going for more. He's taking more risk. These are the things that work well for Nishikori that he's got to absolutely do. He's got to use his serve, his speed as an advantage. He's got to come in and end points at the net, and he's got to take some risk on the serve so he can get more free points on that grass. But I have a lot of signs for nope with Nishikori, okay? First of all, I just see lack of results. He just seems to be one of those guys to where he's always a tough out. It's becoming predictable. He's predictably consistent, which is good. He does well in tournaments. He stays in the top 10 year after year now, but he's really starting to lock himself in as the new school David Ferrer, somebody that you respect, you love how hard they work, you know they're dangerous, you know they win a lot of matches, but are they ever really serious threats? When you look at him, I just see a lack, all right, of a superhero weapon. Oops. I see a lack of a superhero weapon. What do I mean by that? If you look at Roger Federer, obviously he's Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, Andy Murray, all the Milos Raonic even with his serve. They have these things that they do, these intangible, and some of them these in-your-face weapons. You know, Raonic serve, that's a huge weapon. That's obvious, right? Federer's all-around game, how he can pinpoint serves, his beautiful slice. Murray, his cat and mouse game. Djokovic, his return to serve. Like these just dominating weapons that they have that are just next level. They're Grand Slam title-winning weapons. And I don't see Nishikori having one of those. I think if he plays one of these players and they are at the top of their game, he can't beat them. It's going to take him playing as well as he can possibly play and somebody who is above him having an off day. And that has to happen probably 2 to 4 times in the tournament for him to actually win. He's going to match up well against most players, but I would say, you know, you got to win 7 matches. Anywhere between 2 to 4 of those matches, the players he's going to play probably have more weapons than him. And if they play well and execute, he's probably not going to win. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let's go into the grading of Nishikori here. So there's lots of signs of nope for me, as you can see, and we're going to come up with a final grade. Let me know what you guys think about a final grade for Nishikori. Can you please let me know what players he is facing? We will maybe look at the draw. Nishikori will probably withdraw while playing his matches. Okay, lots of injuries for Nishikori. All right, that's. I also was reading that this morning, but I didn't click on the article and read it. Can anybody let me know? I knew he had some kind of things going on, but I don't know exactly what is going on. So let me know out there what exactly is going on with Nishikori. And I'm going to give him, so sorry, Nishikori fans, especially now that we're reading these injuries from our field reporters out there, I'm giving him a C. I don't give him much of a chance. I'd be shocked if he won. I won't shave for 2 years if he wins. How about that? Oh my gosh, did I really just say that? I don't know. I'm going to hold myself to that, but I would be shocked, literally shocked if he won. I don't see him winning Wimbledon. I don't think he has the game to do that. Okay, next we're going to go into Dominic Thiem, certainly one of the biggest young hopefuls out there. This guy has all the tools where at some point, if he just stays healthy and continues to cultivate his game, he should be #1 in the world at some point, I would think. I just don't see how he's not going to be #1 in the world at some point. I don't know if he's going to be #1, year after year, like a Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic. Murray kind of has flirted with #1, although he hasn't done a really good job, to be honest, being #1. It seems like whenever he's got there, he doesn't really hold it very long, and the results go downhill. It's not easy to stay #1, but this guy certainly should be #1 at one point in his career. He's just got so much drive. He's very hungry. He loves to play a ton of matches. He's got so many tools. So let's go through all the pros, right, of this young man who we really, really like here. Really like this kid. Obviously, he's got the confidence. He's got the confidence. How can you not be confident when you're the only guy who beat Rafa Nadal on clay this year? He just was, and he took it to him in that match. So he's got confidence. He made it all the way to semifinals. He's moved up the ranks. And he also has a ton of variety. Okay, so he, to me, looks a lot like, he reminds me of Federer in a lot of ways, as far as he's just beautiful to watch. We love watching that beautiful backhand he has. He flows around the court. He's got a great backhand slice. He's got a big forehand. He looks good when he comes to the net. He can hit a nice little feather drop shot on you. He can do it all. He can come at you from all angles. He can be consistent, but yet he can hit a winner out of nowhere. And so he's got a lot of that. The only thing is he plays with a lot heavier spin than Federer, which we'll get into a little bit later. So that to me is a big difference. But yeah, there's lots of reasons to think that this guy can go all the way. So super excited about him. The other thing is he's played a ton of matches, right? Ton of matches. So he is definitely match tough. He is match tough. But I don't think that he's really been able to play a ton of matches on grass. So that could be a negative thing for a man there. But let's go into the nopes. I think there's lots of reasons for him to be excited, but there's also some signs of nope with me when I look at his game. Here's the biggest nope, is he loves to return. If you watch him on clay, he loves to return his serve at the back fence, right? He loves to be way off the court. And this is something that is not good if you're playing on grass. You have to be able to take the ball early and not let that thing come all the way to the back. If he faces somebody who's a really good serve and volleyer, which there aren't many left, but that's like, if he plays Alexander Zverev's brother, that guy, I think, could eat him up on grass, especially if he stands way back. He's going to have to start feeling comfortable playing closer to the baseline and returning. Now, if he can do that, then he's got all the tools to go all the way. But this is my biggest single nope for me, is I just don't see how he can win Wimbledon when he loves to play so far off the baseline. But he certainly has the skills to play closer to the baseline. Let me know what you guys think before we go into the final grade. So I don't have a lot of nopes for him. I really am big on him, but that's my biggest nope. Yeah, right. George said Thiem's court positioning is a bit deep. It's far back. So that's the problem there. Thiem is a little bit like Wawrinka. He needs time to step into his shot. Exactly. Okay. So you guys feel exactly like I feel. So let's go into the grade. You know, if it wasn't for that court positioning, which is a big deal though, guys, you can't just disregard that. Court positioning is huge. If it wasn't for that issue, I'd give him probably an A, but I'm going to give him a B minus. And that's only because of the court position. I think if he runs up against the wrong competitor, they can really exploit that. And I think it's going to be tough for as many clay court tournaments as he's played. If you looked at the hard court season this year, Thiem still chose to play a lot of clay court. So he is like super locked in and zoned into the clay. To transition to the grass is going to be hard for him, in my opinion, even though he has all the tools to do well there. All right, next we're up to Marin Cilic. So this guy, you got to put him as a favorite, don't you? You have got to put this guy as a favorite. He is dangerous. We know that last year, his signs of hope is, I mean, he was close to sniffing that trophy last year. He almost upset Roger Federer. That was, you know, if you're a Fed fan, you were having a heart attack watching that match. It's a great win by Federer, by the way, but that was, you know, a big thing. So he's got this big serve, and we've already talked about how important the serve is, and you're never going to get more free points than you're going to get at Wimbledon. And we saw the year that he won the U.S. Open, he can literally take the racket out of your hand. When he's serving well, there's nothing you can do. You just have to hope that he cools off. Again, he's got the flat groundies. So those flat groundies, that's a great thing for the grass. He's got the big, tall, long body, the big body, okay? The Wimbledon prototype body. And he's been showing signs of life. If you have heard me earlier in this year, I was like, how is this guy still top 10 in the world? I hadn't seen him do anything, but he had a pretty good grass court showing. So he's got the match readiness to go into Wimbledon. He's got all the tools. His confidence is probably building up again because he's winning more matches lately. And I think that he's got to have pretty good confidence, okay? He's got to have pretty good confidence, relatively speaking, as far as, you know, where his game was several months ago. I feel like he's getting sharp again. And, you know, when you're feeling your game and you got that big serve, you can beat anybody on the grass. So he can go far for sure. Now, as far as his signs of nope is, despite all his tools, he's no spring chicken. He's been around for a long time. He's never won Wimbledon, never won there. And with his game, you would think that he might have been able to do that. So why hasn't he done that? That's a big question mark and red flag. If he's never done it, why do all of a sudden do we believe he's going to do it this year? And the other one is, you can start looking at him, and you can look at him on grass, and you should go, well, he shouldn't lose to anybody with all those weapons. But you never know who is going to show up, right? You never know who's going to show up for this guy. He can be cruising along and then lose to somebody that hasn't done much during the year. So he's not like a Federer, like a Nadal, like a Djokovic. You know, not talking about Nadal on the grass because he's been inconsistent there, but pretty much, you know, the legends of the game, they take care of business, where this guy can have some bad losses, wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, and then all of a sudden he just looks ugly out there. So you never know. He doesn't believe that he can beat Nole and Rafa. You may be right. Cilic may face Nadal in the last 8, by the way. Is this guy worried about Rafa's draw? Cilic, is this guy worried about Rafa's draw? So anyway, He struggled early in the year, like George says, but he's doing better now. So we will see how he does. What should we grade this guy? Let me know. I'm liking a lot of the comments out there. What should we grade Cilic going into this year's Wimbledon? I think you got to give him a pretty high grade for him. You know, we're not comparing him to Roger, who's won it 7 times. We got to compare it to him. So I think for how he's been doing and what he's doing lately is you got to give him a good grade. With all the tools he has, and he has the match experience at Wimbledon, he knows what it's like to play on center court. He knows what it's like to almost beat the biggest legend in the game. I'm going to give him a B+. I think he's somebody you got to watch. You got to give him a puncher's chance to go all the way. He is a dark horse. He could hold the trophy. If anybody's going to break through the top 4 players, when we're talking about Murray, Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal, if we're talking about those guys, I think you've got to give him a chance. You got to give him a chance. All right, next player, we're going to go with Milos Raonic. Okay, now I really like this kid. I know Matt hates this guy. Matt basically put a curse on him. If you have not watched Matt Bradshaw's Coffee Break Tennis, by the way, do yourself a favor today, and after this video, watch Matt Bradshaw's Coffee Break Tennis. If you don't know who I am, by the way, my name's Peter Freeman. I am an online tennis instructor. So this is a tennis instruction channel, but we love to talk about the pro sports, and we teach you everything on tennis. In fact, if you look at the description today, I have created for you guys, and I'll just read it real quick. I hate to go off topic, but I do want to show you what I have for you in case you are somebody who loves tennis. And what I have for you is I have for you a free course called Serving A to Z. And in that Serving A to Z, if you just come down here in the description, it's been downloaded by thousands of players all over the world. My YouTube channel, by the way, has been voted top 10 instructional channels by lessons.com, so you get good stuff. And this course right here, if you click on it, it's going to help you improve your toss, your balance, your consistency, advanced techniques like your kick and your slice. And there's actually, this is not just like a PDF download or you get 2 or 3 videos. There's actually 40 videos that you can go through, and it really will transform your serve. I've gotten tons of testimonials and reviews on it. All right, back to our review here. Milos Raonic. Okay, so signs of hope is the serve is one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest serves out there. That thing is just nasty. He can hit the corners. He can pop at 140 miles an hour plus. He's got a huge kick serve. He's got a great slice serve. He's got everything on that serve. That serve, when it's on, to me, that doesn't get any better than that. He's also got the big flat ground strokes, big flat strokes, okay? We see up here the picture before, he's getting ready for the slice. He's got a nasty slice backhand. He's really done a good job through the years developing a really good slice backhand. So he's got the nice strokes. He's got the slice backhand. And he also is getting better and better and more comfortable at the net. So he's a big guy who will come to the net and finish points off, which I think, you absolutely need to be doing if you're that tall. And not enough big players today, I think, go to the net enough. If you're that big and you have that big a serve, you should be serving volume more. Well, he's not afraid to do that. Last year, finalist. Okay, so he knows what, and he beat Federer. I mean, so again, he was so close to winning. Now, he did not show up in that final. That was disappointing. And he might have put too much pressure on himself. He was saying that he was tired of potential. He was tired of good showings. He really put a lot of pressure on himself last year to say, I have to win this tournament. It's time to win. And that's where we go into the signs of nope. Is ever since then, he's had a ton of injuries, bad results, and he just has not been able to bounce back after last year's great Wimbledon performance. I was hoping that, because I really do like him. I think he's somebody who really works hard. Everything I hear about him, he works really hard. He's got all the tools to win a major. and he seems like a really nice person. I really like him. So I think I would like to see him hold a trophy of some sort at some point, and do you get a better look at it with his game than at Wimbledon? He's made to win Wimbledon. But he's had a lot of bad results, a lot of bad luck, and so his confidence, he's got to have a big lack of C right now, big lack of confidence. So these are all super red flags. If he can pull just the confidence together, he can come and shock the world, because I don't think anybody is giving him much of a chance to win because he's just disappeared after Wimbledon. But don't forget, you cannot forget, he was there at the final last year. You cannot forget, he beat Roger Federer in 5 sets. And all it takes is a little bit of confidence. And this is a surface where big game is going to win matches. If his serve catches fire and he's winning shots in 1 to 3 shots, if he's winning points in 1 to 3 shots, you have to give him a chance to win. What do you guys think? Am I giving him too much of a chance? All right. Raonic is getting a B+. Anoop gives him a C. I want to hear some other things. He beat an injured Federer. That is true. He beat an injured Federer. Maybe after Federer retires. This is another game. B, B-. Jalen gives it a B. Okay, so we're giving Federer, wow, what a draw. Okay, so people are looking at his season and giving him a lower chance. And I agree. I think the more I'm reading everybody's comments, C-. Tony gives him a C-. Too inconsistent this year, Ashley. I agree with you. But don't forget, the grass, it's like a completely different animal. Grass is a completely different animal. I don't know if you can like look at his results on clay or look at his results on the hard court and think that it automatically translates to the grass. I don't think that that's fair. And grass can be one of those things to where it just changes at least your season around for Wimbledon. You know, you could go win on the grass and then go play terrible in the hard court season. Look at what Rafa does. Rafa has lots of great French Opens, and then he goes and he can't perform on that grass. So it's different. I don't think it's indicative of what you've done the whole year. So I'm at least going to give him a puncher's chance with a B. Okay, he's got a shot, and if he gets his confidence up, he could shock the world. He could do it. All right, next we're going to go with Stan the Man. All right, Stan the Man. What did Matt called him? Stanislav the Manislav or something like that. Stan Wawrinka. This is a great picture of Stan, right? And this really sums up what Stan has been able to do in the latter part of his career. He has become a very mentally tough tennis player, which has been pretty cool to see. He gets in those big matches, and he's a big-time, big-game player. So what we're going to do is confidence. I think Stan, when he starts to get deep into a tournament, he starts to believe he's very dangerous. The deeper he goes, he gets more and more dangerous. All right, got to the finals of the French. So he's got to have good confidence. He also is a big game player. So that kind of goes in the confidence. He's not afraid when he matches up against Federer, even though he doesn't have a great record against Federer. But I think when he matches up against anybody, Federer, Djokovic, Nadal, and his confidence is there, he truly believes he can win, and he shows us that he has the goods to do it. So these are the things that are going for him. And, of course, he's got a great all-around game. And a heavy game, right? And he can hit winners from anywhere. Great all-around game. Those are the big signs of hope if you love Stan. And lots of people love Stan, and why not? Because he just seems like a great guy. That's the cool thing I love about the tour. All these people just seem so cool. I love everybody in the top 10. I love everybody in the top 10. Obviously, I love Federer too, although you got to give Matt the big, go ahead on who loves Federer the most. All right, anyway, let's get into this. Signs of nope. My signs of nope are, again, someone hit on it. He likes time to hit. So he can drift far behind the baseline. And the other thing is in one of the warm-up tournaments, I believe he had a hip injury. Hip injuries can be very, very dangerous. So you have to wonder if it was just being extra cautious and he's totally fine, or if he's guarding something, if he's hiding something. Let me know. Does anybody have any reports? I like how you guys were able to report on Nishikori. Can anybody tell me how Stan is feeling? How is Stan feeling with this? The grass is too fast, and people are saying, yes, he's not a great candidate at Wimbledon. I'm going to have to agree with people. That's Marco saying that. Ashley, yep, he doesn't like to step forward. I mean, he likes to step forward, but he likes his time to step forward. He doesn't like to take the ball too early. He can certainly do it if he needs to. For Stan, master of the season, it wasn't okay. Could have had two slams under his belt, right? He lost to Federer. That's true. He lost to Federer and he lost to Nadal, who both went on to win. That's a good point, Tony. What are you guys going to give him for a grade? What is the grade for Stan the man? I want to know. Also, if you're watching this post right now, I'll wait for some grades to come in. What I'd love you to do, you see this page, I'd love you to give this a little like here. Give it a little like. All right. Also, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Okay, guys, we'd love you to subscribe. All right. A Federer 19 fan gives him a B+. Anoop gives him a B. B- from Jalen. More of a slow court guy. You have to agree with that. He does love the slow courts. He loves the predictable bounces. Someone gives it, or Jack gives him an A-. So lots of A-, lots of Bs. B+ for Stan. I'm going to go right in the middle. I'm going to give him a solid B. And I think what I really have to stress is it's the first week is scary for him. If he can get out of the first week, he's a lot like Rafa, guys. Rafa, when you have to worry about Rafa, it's the first week. If he gets in the second week, he's a scary guy to play. I mean, just scary. We saw it at the French Open. Like every time he won a match, it became more and more very intimidating for the rest of the field because you realize, okay, he's demolishing people. And I've seen him do this at Wimbledon too, where he started slow at Wimbledon. The couple years that Nadal has won Wimbledon, he's actually had a slow start. He's had a bit of a scare, but in the second week, he just looks incredible. Especially that year where he beat Birch in the final. There was no doubt Rafa was going to win Wimbledon that year. So that brings us to our man, the trophy-biting legend, Rafa Nadal, the Spanish bull. I mean, what a great story. I literally just got chills thinking about this. I am so proud of Rafa. I'm so happy for tennis that he is back. You know, everybody was saying and noticing that Rafa had lost something. And one thing that was really cool and a testament to Rafa's grit is that Serena Williams' coach did a segment at the French Open where last year when he was playing, before he pulled out, and by the way, Rafa destroyed his competition last year at the French Open before he pulled out, but he was actually hitting more backhands than forehands. That magical 3,000 MPHs that he gets to, right? Oh, no, what is it, RPMs that he gets to, revolutions per minute? It was down to 2,200 on average. And he was only getting over that 3,000 like 20% of the time. Now, at the French Open, he was over that 3,000 RPMs, revolutions per minute, over 70% of the time. He was dominating with the forehand. He was moving inside the court. So his confidence is back. We didn't realize how bad his injuries were. You know, his injuries were really bad, guys, and he was out there still fighting like Rafa. But now he's confident. That's huge. And why is he confident? Because he's healthy, right? A fresh, healthy Rafa is a scary Rafa. And lots of grass court practice. Did you guys see that on YouTube? He practiced a lot. They've got grass courts now in Mallorca, and Rafa was there practicing with Moya a lot of grass court hitting. So he's really worked hard. He hasn't shown up much on the grass court for tournaments, but he's been hitting a lot of balls on grass. And Rafa, if he can get his timing down on grass and get used to the speed, He can transition. We know he can transition and do well at Wimbledon. He's won it twice. He's beaten Rafa. I mean, he's beaten Roger on Roger's favorite surface in Roger's prime in perhaps the greatest match of all time. He's had a dominating year at Wimbledon where he just destroyed Berdych in the final. So Rafa can have a great Wimbledon this year. I think this is the year that Rafa maybe comes back and has a good showing. I'm not saying he's going to go all the way, but I'm not going to be surprised at all if he gets in the second week. And if he gets in the second week, everybody better watch out. Everybody better watch out if Rafa gets the second week, because then his timing is there, his confidence is there, and Rafa has got to be the most intimidating guy. When Rafa is at the top of his game mentally and physically, he's got to be the most intimidating person to play of all time, I think. I want to know what you guys think. Of course, I love Federer too, but I mean, Rafa, he's just scary. He's a scary customer when he's on his game. Now, signs of nope is you cannot disregard bad results. He's had a lot of bad results on grass over the last several years, and he did lose an exhibition match to Berdych on grass just recently. So that transition coming over from the clay to the grass has been a big problem for him. So just these bad results, that's the biggest sign of nope. And obviously his game is more suited towards the clay, right? Where his top spin, sometimes his top spin on the grass can work against him, okay? It can work against him to where it jumps up in the sweet spot of the opponent rather than kicking way over the head. On the clay, his big topspin forehand can kick up over people's heads. On the grass, sometimes it lands right in people's sweet spot. Also, court position. Can he establish and get comfortable inside the court? He's going to have to do these things. And if he can't, these are all signs of nope, not this year, Rafa. Okay, but we do have to be super proud of Rafa. Let me know what do you want me to comment on, Ashley? Completely agree with you. When Rafa is confident, healthy, no one can beat him. Ashley, true. Let me see if I can find that comment for you guys. True, CED. What did CED? Second week, he is intimidating because Wimbledon basically, yeah, thank you. Very good point by CED 1241. That is a great point. It becomes two different surfaces. When Rafa is playing the first week, the grass is pristine, it's slick, the ball stays low. The second week, it does start playing more like clay. The court gets chewed up. The bounces, you know, his spin starts to create a lot of unpredictable bounces where it can kick up. It can do lots of different things. It's a little bit different than clay, where one time it might be dead. It might hit a dead part of the court and stay low. Another time it can kick up over your head. So, you know, Rafa likes all that kind of stuff. So absolutely right. The grass does start playing a little bit more like clay the second week. So that was a great point. What is your final grade, guys? I'm going to look back and look for final grades for Rafa. What are you guys going to give him for grades? As you guys are doing the grading, I'm going to remind everybody, okay, Jalen gives it a B. I'm going to remind everybody that you are watching an online tennis instructor right now. My name is Jalen, gives him a B or A minus, okay? A B plus, an A, a B plus. So Rafa's getting good grades. This A plus. Tony gives him an A plus. Ashley B plus. Marcus A. Royal A, B. Okay. So despite Rafa's bad performances, all right, A for me, says Chase. Very good. So besides Rafa's bad performances over the last several years, people are giving him an A because we all see that the confidence and health is back, and that is a scary Rafa. Again, just remind you guys here that if you're enjoying this and you like tennis and you want to improve at your tennis, I'm a USPTA Elite Professional Online Instructor. My YouTube channel has been named Top 10 Instructional Channels in the World by Lessons.com. I've been able to work with Rod Laver, John Newcomb, Fred Steyer, Roy Emerson, Rick Leach, just to name a few. But my true joy is helping passionate players just like you, and I have a blast doing it. And as a thank you for watching today's video, I'd love to give you my free serve course called Serving A to Z. It's been downloaded thousands of times, and this has over 40 instructional videos, guys. This is not just some PDF that you're going to get and you're hungry and looking for more in 5 minutes. This is a full course. We go over the toss, we go over balance, we go over consistency, we give you more power, and we help you master advanced techniques like the kick and the slice. And all you got to do is click right there. The page looks like this, so you can go and read everything that you're going to get. Okay, go look through all the testimonials, go look through before and after serve analysis, and look at all the value you're going to get. You're going to get over $165 worth of course material for free, and you got to love that. Okay, $165.94, you get it for free. Okay, all right, let's get back to this. Now everybody's grades should be in, so let's go back to the grades. You guys are awesome, by the way. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of people are giving Rafa an A and a B plus. And so you know what? I got to give Rafa an A. I got to give him an A. He's earned an A, right? He's a legend. He's won the tournament before. He feels healthy. He feels confident. He just dominated on the clay at Roland Garros. You got to give him an A. I'm giving him an A. That's my first A of the day. But guess who's next? Guess who's next, guys? Roger Federer. I got to take a sip of water here. Hold on. Thank you guys for joining today's broadcast. This is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. Okay, there's Roger. This picture sums up Roger too, right? Just making the sport look easy. His clothes are perfect. He's playing on his home turf here, the grass, and he's hitting the tweener. It just sums up Roger, right? So signs of hope. We could probably go through and fill this whole thing up, but obviously Roger is confident, extremely confident right now. He's got a million tools that work great on grass, right? Million tools up his sleeve. He can serve and volley. He can stay back. He can chip and charge. He can play inside the court. He can play defense. He can do everything to you, especially on grass. He's got a great 1-2 combination, whether it's the serve, right? His serve. Serve is a huge weapon, especially his pinpoint accuracy. His slice backhand. I think it's important to have a good slice backhand on grass because it slides and stays low. His volley, right? His drop shot. The drop shot's a big weapon because that grass, especially the first week, the ball just dies. If you've ever played on grass, which I have sometimes, that ball just dies. So Roger's got a lot of shots where he can make that ball stay low, like you're literally hitting off your ankles, and he can also make the ball die. And then he can come up with big shots. And he's a champion, right? 7-time champion, arguably the greatest ever on grass. Sampras you'd have to put up there too. Borg won it 5 times, although I wouldn't say he's a traditional grass court player. But Roger's Roger. So obviously lots of signs of hope. Signs of nope. You have to do some, okay? You have to do some. Number one, I don't really think that this is a big one. But at the same time, you wonder, when are the wheels going to fall off? This guy, he is now 36, right? Is he 36 or 35? I think he's 36. I could be wrong, okay? So don't kill me if I'm wrong, but I think he's 36. When are the wheels going to fall off? They have to fall off at some point, but it doesn't look like he's close to that. So that's like a very weak sign of nope. Another sign of nope, though, is the draw, okay? Scary draw. We're going to take a look at that in a second. That's probably the biggest sign of nope, is he's probably got the toughest draw out there, I think. Let me know if you guys agree with that. And the other thing is, he has taken time off, not a lot of matches. But then I'm going to go back and I'm going to put that as a sign of hope, because he went and he did have a great grass court season. So he won a grass court already. Won a grass court, but he didn't play the clay. So he didn't play all those matches, but I think that that's a good thing, actually. So even though he had a lot of time off, I think this is a pro and a con. And I think it ends up being more of a pro. I think it ends up being more of a sign of hope than a sign of nope. So again, my signs of nope are weak. Everything's pointing to yes. Everything's pointing to hope if you love Roger. He certainly has a great chance, probably the best chance to win it. But if you go over here and you look at his draw, let's go over here and you look at the draw. Let's find our buddy Roger. The draws are out. Matt and I, or Matt might do them by himself. I don't know if he's going to do a coffee break by himself, but the draws are out. And look, he's got a very crafty, this is not somebody you want to face in the first round of Wimbledon, especially if this guy's on and feeling it. And he's got all kinds of junk and slice and variety and a tricky serve to read, tons of talent coming out the ears. This is not who Roger Federer wanted to see. Okay, you did not want to see this. And then as you work your way up here, there's Zverev. Okay, so Zverev, who's a serve volleyer, he's out there. He's tough. You don't want to play him. You don't want to play Isner. You don't want to play Isner on grass, guys. Dimitrov, you don't want to play Baby Fed on grass. He should play great on grass. You don't want to play Alexander Zverev on grass. These are a lot of players you don't want to play. Of course, Roger can beat them all. Jack Sock, I don't think he's really worried about him. Midcourt can be dangerous, but I don't think it. And then you don't want to face this guy again. I don't. But maybe Federer does. Maybe he wants to come with a revenge match, and Raonic is his confidence is shaken. But what if Milos can get all the way to Roger? Is then his confidence off? I think that just by him getting all the way to Roger, you'd have to go his confidence is back, and I don't want to see that matchup. And then if he gets through all those guys, he plays, if Novak can get on his game, he plays the greatest returner perhaps of all time. So the draw is a big sign of nope. Like, it's a tough ask to ask Roger to do all that, but I mean, Roger's probably up for it, right? I mean, he's got all the tools to do it. So let's see here. What do you guys think? Yeah, but he can always withdraw. Who can withdraw? What is that about? Backhand is better than ever. Absolutely. Milos is in Funky Town right now. Jim said, but what if he makes it all the way to Roger? If he makes it all the way to Roger, would you still say he's in Funky Town? Honestly, Zverev looked tired and off his game because of the back-to-back two setters. The AO draw was tougher, obviously. Peter, Roger defeated 4 of the top 10 players at the Australian Open. I'm grasping at straws here. I think that Roger certainly could do this. Oh, I want to thank you guys. We're up to 15 likes. Give me some more likes, please. I like the likes. I eat them like chocolate cake. So please like this video. Please go get your free Serving A to Z course. Federer's head-to-head against the dog. Yeah, he's good. Look, I'm picking straws. So let's vote now. Let's give Roger a grade. What's Roger's grade out there? I'll wait. Rafa is the man to beat Roger at Wimbledon. You may be right. You may be right. I'm looking for votes. Give me some votes. Thank you for the likes. We've gone up to 22 likes. The person who disliked me, I still love you. It's okay. Anyway, give me some votes. We're getting A pluses. We're getting A plus or A. None of Roger's draws had it. I mean, no one gets a total, right? If you're going to win a tournament, you got to play tough matches. A plus plus, says Felipe. B plus, A plus, A minus. Why A minus, Tragic Gamer? Why an A minus? A. Why A minus? Why the minus sign? Want to know. But of course, Roger looks good. Jim says A. Why you guys are doing that? I love how the likes are going up. Subscribe if you've not subscribed to our channel before. And go grab your free serve course right about now, because you can download a course that was selling for $77. You can get it absolutely free. You can get over 40 instructional videos. You can help your toss, your balance, your power, and your consistency. This is what the page looks like. That shows you everything that you're going to get. You see here, you're going to get the flat serve. These are all the modules that you're going to go through. Your rhythm, your toss, your consistency. So you got lots of cool stuff, plus a free ebook, 7 Steps to a Powerful Serve. But look at that. This is to help your kick serve. This is to help your slice serve. This is to help your strategy and your grips. This is to help your tossing arm, your rhythm, okay? Getting started if you've never served before. It's a great course. Go download it. It's absolutely free. I'm going to come back to all the grades. You guys are awesome. This has been so much fun. A++. Fed fans are raging. Fed fans are raging. Okay. You know I'm going to give Roger? I got to give him does he not deserve an A+? I mean, why would he need to deserve an A+? He's done it before. He's playing confident. He's feeling great. And that's it. A+ for Roger. The first A+. So our two legends, which is pretty exciting, Rafa, A, Roger, A. Okay? Wouldn't we love to see a Roger-Rafa final? I mean, that would be the ultimate collision again. If we can have another final, they had the 5 sets at the Australian Open. Who would win that match? And they start again when Roger won the Australian Open. It was kind of, you thought, okay, closed case, Roger's the greatest of all time. He just won 18. He just beat his biggest rival in the finals at the Australian Open at 35 years old. Greatest ever. Then Rafa comes back, completely dominates the clay, wins 3 tournaments 10 times. Not 10 times total. That's 30 tournament wins on clay in 3 tournaments and destroys everybody at the French Open. The door is wide open again to say Rafa is the greatest of all time. I'm sorry, guys. It's wide open again. Those two play. They're starting to play again for greatest of all time, the GOAT. I know that Matt does not want to hear that, but it's absolutely true. All right, now we're going to Novak Djokovic. And I want to know everybody's opinion on Novak. What do you guys think here? I hope we can come up with some signs of hope for Novak because he needs it. He needs it. He wants it. We don't know how badly he wants it. I think that's the thing. If you ask anybody in the world, hey, do you want to win Wimbledon? The answer is yes. Hey, do you want to be number 1? The answer is yes. The question is, Novak, are you willing to go back to that dark side of you that trained ridiculously hard, that concentrated on your food, that would go into a restaurant that was completely dark so that you could concentrate on your food, to sleep in oxygen tanks, to do everything possible to win? Are you willing to go back there now that you're married and have a kid? I think the answer is no. I think that's what's missing. So I know I'm already starting off on the con. I hate to do that to my buddy Novak because I love Novak. I love Novak Djokovic. I think he's great. If you ever watch his YouTube videos, what he does with the kids out on the court and things like that, he's just a cool guy. I love Novak. So what we got to look at as far as signs of hope is he's a champion. Champions are champions are champions. Never count a champion out, okay? They can surprise you. We've thought Roger was down and out. How many articles have been written in Roger's career that he will never win another major? Rafa, Nadal. How many times have people said Rafa will never win? Wouldn't it be cool that the tournament that basically turned everything around in a bad way to our champion, wouldn't it be cool if he came back and won? Okay? Wouldn't it be cool that the tournament that really... Guys, remember, when he went into Wimbledon, everybody was thinking, is he going to lose a match? That's how dominating he was. People were thinking, is he going to lose a match the rest of the year? He won the Australian, he won the French, and he had barely lost going into Wimbledon. Boom. Wimbledon comes, big time, everything just deflated. Becker left him because he said, you know, Novak, you don't need me. You're not motivated to work. So let's part. So he lost all his motivation after Wimbledon, and now he knows his game is in trouble. So is Agassi going to help him? Is Agassi a sign of hope? My thing is you can't get your motivation from other people. It has to come from within. That's the big X question mark. Is he going to be hungry enough to find the motivation from within? Or, you know, is Agassi going to be able to motivate him? Return to serve? Best ever. So to combat and beat these players who can serve people off the court. If you've got that return to serve as a weapon, he also likes to return serve close to the baseline. So he likes to take time away on his return to serve. He just doesn't get it back. He takes time away. So you can serve that big serve on grass and you can put it right back on your feet, even if you're staying back at the baseline. So that return to serve is obviously a big sign of hope. He's got a great full court game. He's a champion. These are all the signs of hope. Signs of nope. I think the number one is motivation. Okay. I think it's a big sign that he only chose to play one tournament at the last minute on grass, and he didn't even know if he could do it. He was kind of like a last minute, like, all right, I guess I'll do it. So I think that this is the big thing that you have to look at with Novak and wonder, what do you think? Is he gonna be able to do this? And so I'm worried about Novak in that regard, and that the motivation is a big question mark. Here, confidence. He knows he's having trouble. That's eating into his confidence. He's given up his lifetime coaches. He's throwing stuff at the wall right now. He's struggling to find answers. And then I think one thing that you have to look at in his game that is mysteriously missing is firepower. One thing that I noticed when he started to beat Rafa Nadal is that they would have these great exchanges, and Novak would be the one who could eventually turn up the heat and maybe hit a backhand winner down the line, who could go out and hit that inside-out winner on his forehand. Right now, Novak has become a defensive machine still. He still gets these Gumby-like shots to where he's doing a full split, gets the ball back, can bear down, play amazing defense, but he drops back behind the baseline. I'm not seeing the firepower off Novak. It is missing. What happened to it? Why is it gone? Sometimes I look at his frame and I go, has he lost too much weight? This is a big question mark. My two big question marks for Novak is, can you somehow find your firepower again? And can you get motivated? What do you guys think? I'm going to come back and look for your comments. Fed is doping. Novak is better than Fed. Maybe Novak winning the French Open caused a lot. Absolutely, Jack John. It caused a lack of his, for sure. What else? Rafa beats Federer. He will be the GOAT. Okay. Somebody says if Rafa can beat him, he's the GOAT. Look at all these comments coming in. Peter, do you feel that Novak has a mental edge over Roger in their matchups? Think back to the last. I absolutely think if this didn't happen to Novak, this big drop-off, he certainly does have an advantage mentally over Roger Federer. I thought Roger Federer going into the U.S. Open a couple of years ago, going to that final, he was playing the best tennis out of anybody in the world, and then he went up against Novak, and he just missed a lot of shots that he normally doesn't miss because Novak put so much pressure on you. That defense that we talked about, and then Novak still had the firepower in his game where he could hit winners. Go on challengeon.com and create your prediction. Okay, cool, Tragic Gamer. That sounds fun. Novak will lose before he has to face Federer. All right, let's get your grades in, guys. I'm looking for grades. So far, I've seen 2 C pluses and a B. Novak should join the WTA. James, that is not fair and not right. It's a little funny, but I can't agree with you. Come on, the guy is still great. I'm seeing some likes here. Please help me out. Give me more likes here. I like the likes. The thumbs down, okay. I'll deal with that. But, of course, I like to see this like column go up. So please help me out. Give me some likes. Make sure that you go out here. You take your advantage of your Serving A to Z free course. Over 40 free videos, okay? Real videos designed to help you get to that next level. So we're seeing B, B minus, B plus, C plus. He's another one where, if Novak gets into the second week, builds up a little bit of confidence, all of a sudden he turns from a pretender to a contender. But I'm going to go, and I'm going to have to agree with a lot of people out there. I'm just really concerned about where his mind is at. He might be perfectly happy in life too, guys. Don't feel sorry for Novak. He might just be enjoying his wife and his family and not willing to go so dark in his training. I think Novak had to go kind of dark, kind of Darth Vader-like to get to get everything out of his game. He had to train just so ridiculously hard. I think he's trying to balance, you know, having a family, having a life, and still getting the results he wants. And I don't know if he can do it. So I'm going to give him a B-. And I hope whether he wins or loses at Wimbledon, I hope he is a happy man because he deserves happiness. I really like Novak. All right. Number 1 in the world, Andy Murray, the most underwhelming number 1 in the world player that we've seen in quite a while. I have to say it. I mean, Andy is a great player. He's had an amazing career, but since he's become number 1, it has been not very good. It hasn't been anything to write home about. It's been very underwhelming, and he's had some bad losses. So let's go into it. Let's go into the signs of hope, the signs of nope. But you know, going into this, if you're a Andy Murray fan, what you have is he's a hometown hero, right? Even though he's not from, you know, England, but they still accept him as the hometown hero. He's a champion, and grass suits his game. If he can find his game anywhere, guys, it's going to be on grass because he feels comfortable there, because he's going to have every single person when he goes on and plays a match. People are going to be backing him up big time. They're going to be rooting for him to find his form. He is a champion. He knows how to win. He's a defending champion. He's number 1 in the world. And he's got a beautiful game for grass. You know, grass is a game that suits touch. It suits this cat and mouse type stuff. He's got a great return. You know, I think you could even, some people could argue, you know, everybody says Novak, great returner. Well, Murray is no slouch himself. And Murray really loves to come early. Murray can come in early and take that ball, take the pace right off the serve and put it right back on you. He's another one that can do that. He can hit feathery drop shots. He can cover the court like a madman. He can come to the net and feel pretty comfortable there. Got every single tool to win Wimbledon. Obviously, he's done it. Okay, so these are all the things that are signs of hope. But I can't give him a final grade yet. We have to go through signs of nope. So signs of nope is lack of results. A little bit of signs of hope at the French Open this year, but come on, as number 1 in the world, you got to be doing better than he's doing this year. So lack of results and injury. People are talking about a hip injury, and it's hard to know how serious it is. Is it very serious? Is this camp keeping it hush hush, or is it something that it's not going to be physically possible for him to get to the second week? Let me know. Let me see. Does anybody have any insider information? I'll come back to the discussion and let me know. Thank you. We got a couple more likes. He went from English to Scottish, right? Roger will win. Yeah, Murray is injured. How injured is Murray? Does anybody know? His forehand is slower than Ostapenko from the WTA. Yeah, but her forehand is pretty awesome. Okay. He will turn his year around. The Tragic Gamer says he's going to turn his year around. Yep, have sound. So maybe you're saying turn it around. Anyway, so we're not seeing enough comments where I can really feel about it. What you guys are feeling about it. Worst stint as number 1. Yeah, I agree. Very bad number 1. Most underwhelming since Thomas Muster. Very good, right? Going back to Thomas Muster. Yeah, Murray's injured. I see Andy in the second week. George says he sees Andy in the second week. And again, I think with all the Grand Slam winners, retired from exhibition, so injury is serious. Well, maybe. Yeah, Andy has a bad hip injury. Look, if the hip is bad, guys, we can't even be mad at him if he doesn't do well. People are underestimating Rafa. Why are we underestimating Rafa? We gave him an A. We said he's doing great. I don't think we're underestimating him. Murray is an A. Okay. Let's grade Murray, guys. I'll be waiting for some grades to come. I would love it if we could get some more thumbs up and likes on this video. I would really, really appreciate that. And another thing for you guys, check out my free serve course. If you don't know who I am, my name is Peter Freeman. I'm an online tennis instructor. Okay, so that's what I love to do. I love to help you guys, whether you want to improve your serve, your forehand, your backhand, your volley, your doubles, your singles. So make sure you check out this channel after this video or a little later, come back to it. The way you can most come back to it is you subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll be notified on my new videos, whether it's a cool video like this where we're talking together about the Pro Tour or whether it's something helping out with your game. Okay, so the grades are coming in. Let me go back and look at the grades. All right, B, D, B minus, C plus, terrible results. C minus, B, B minus, B plus. George, give him the B plus. C, B minus. He is in his 7th race to London. B, B or B minus. A. James gives him an A. Hip injuries are the last thing you need on grass. Guys, I think since the hip injury's there, okay, besides the bad year, if you're hurt, you're hurt. So, I mean, that's tough. I got to give him a C. He's had not a great year. He'll be the first one to admit that. Again, this is nothing against Andy. I cannot stress enough how classy our sport is, how proud I am of every single player on the tour. I love them all. But Andy is having a bad year, and Andy sounds like he's hurt. And so if you're having a bad year and then you're hurt and you're nursing a hip injury, which, come on, to hit a big serve, you need to thrust that hip into the ball, to hit a big forehand, hit a backhand, to get your strength and load and sprint to a ball, to change directions. I mean, the hip is there. You can't hide a hip injury. You cannot hide a hip injury, guys. You cannot be a hero and go through 2 weeks with a hip injury. You know, you might be able to, somehow nurse when your thumb is jammed or, your toe is injured. Somehow, I don't know. There's not many injuries in tennis that you can really hide from, because you kind of need every tool in your arsenal. You can nurse a bad back. You can do things like that. But a hip injury, come on, you cannot do that. All right. So anyway, that's it. That is my top. Those are my grades. So let's just kind of review. So we'll go through the top 10 again real quick. Not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we're going to go through the top 10 grades. First, we had Zverev, and we gave him a B plus. Next up was Nishikori. I want to know what you guys think of these final grades. We gave him a C. Then we had Dominic Thiem. We gave him a B minus, only because of his court positioning. He's got all the talent, but I'm worried he stays a little too far back on the grass. We got Cilic. We gave him a B plus because his confidence is up and he's got all the tools to win Wimbledon. Milos, I gave him a B because I think even though he's had not the greatest year, he's got all the tools. And remember, he was a finalist last year. Stan the Man, we gave him a B because he's had a solid year. The reason why it's not a B plus or an A is because of court positioning at Wimbledon. He likes time. He likes to stay back. I think that's not a good thing for Wimbledon. Rafa, the legend, is back. We gave him an A. Roger, boom, A plus. Novak, B minus, and Andy, C. So if you're keeping score at home, it looks like we may be shaping up. If everything turns out, we could see another Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer final. That would be really, really awesome. Everybody loved that. So anyway, that's it. That's it, guys. Another thing, I think Matt from Coffee Break Tennis and Crunch Time Coaching may be back with a draw video. I might join him for that. We'll see. Who's going to win? That's tough. We're going to come back. We're going to analyze the draws. I'm not going to make a total prediction there. I just wanted to grade everybody. What do you guys think? You guys can let me know who you think. Peter, what about Nick Kyrgios? Well, I think Kyrgios has the game to be a dark horse, but he's also got it struggling with a hip injury. So, again, I don't look at Nick to win. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to pick up your free course, Serving A to Z. You can go in the description. I will also, when the video becomes live, and at the end, I'll put it in there. But don't forget to go down here. You just click on this link. It will bring you to this page, and you can get all these. Module 1 is getting started. It's a $19 value. Module 2 is the rhythm and the toss. It's a $24 value. Toss and arm. We go through aiming, grips and practice tips, strategy sessions, how to warm up, how to measure your practice. And we go into the slice serve, which is great. It's my favorite thing to teach. The kick serve, such a big weapon in tennis. Your flat serve. And then we got some bonus sections: how to master your control, how to serve the ball into the body, how to develop more whip. And then this is an actual 30-minute lesson that I gave to 4 3.5 to 4.0 players, to where I could identify their mistakes and help them correct it. Plus, you get 7 steps to a powerful serve. So make sure you check it out. Make sure you subscribe. You guys are awesome. If you are watching this on the replay, make sure you comment below. Look forward to reading that. Jim says, I'm skipping the rocks as we speak. So he's followed that too. Great video, Pete. Wonderful discussion. It's a good night from Australia. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for checking in. Great show. Thanks so much, guys. Thank you. I appreciate all the thank yous. I appreciate all the likes. And I am going to turn this off. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen so you guys can see me. Just want to sign off here. Thanks so much for watching. And I'm stopping today's broadcast. Enjoy Wimbledon. We're going to be around a lot during the Wimbledon fortnight. Take care.